Hello, welcome to the News Broadcast Daily and following today's top stories.
Vietnamese leaders praised the visit by the President of Panama as an important milestone in the two countries' relations. The fourth ASEAN Labour and Employment Ministers' Conference reaffirms political commitments to policies for sustainable jobs. The export of agroforestry and aquatic products earns Vietnam $22.5 billion over 10 months, up 9.5% year-on-year.
The President of Panama, Ricardo Martinelli, is paying a visit to Vietnam from October 24th. On October 25th, he had talks with President Nguyen Thanh Sang and met with leaders of the Vietnam Communist Party, the government and National Assembly. All Vietnamese leaders praised the visit as an important milestone in the two countries' relations.
At his meeting with the Panamanian President, Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng spoke highly of the results of talks between President Martinelli and his Vietnamese counterpart Nguyen Thanh Sang. He said the talks had mapped out specific orientations and measures to boost bilateral relations in the fields of economics, trade and maritime transport. Martinelli said his visit will create an important momentum to strengthen the two countries' relations. The two sides agreed to strengthen exchange activities and experience sharing between the two ruling parties, parliaments and peoples. During his talks with the Panamanian President, Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng said that the results of Vietnam-Panama multifaceted cooperation have contributed to the common development of the two countries. He suggested that the two sides should sign the Vietnam-Panama Trade Investment Cooperation Agreement and establish a cooperative committee between the two governments as early as possible. For his part, Martinelli affirmed that Panama will work closely with Vietnam to implement effectively the proposals of Prime Minister Dũng. He asked that Vietnam share experiences with Panama in rice and coffee production. In turn, Panama is willing to cooperate and share experiences with Vietnam in wharf and port construction. Also on October 25th, at a meeting with the Panamanian President, National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng suggested that the two sides coordinate to push cooperation in the fields of agriculture, science and technology, culture and healthcare, as well as support each other at multilateral forums. On the occasion, the National Assembly leader also invited the President of the Panama National Assembly to make an official visit to Vietnam. The Panamanian President expressed his pleasure at the results of his visit, including the signing of some important cooperation agreements which will create a premise to boost the two countries' economic ties.
The fourth ASEAN Labour and Employment Ministers' Conference took place in Hanoi on October 25th. The ministers have reaffirmed their political commitments to the need to adopt and implement policies for sustainable jobs, particularly for young people and disadvantaged groups.
Addressing 200 delegates from 39 member states of the Asia-Europe meeting, Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng said that Vietnam is impressed with Asia-Europe meeting's initiatives to foster cooperation in human resource development, skill training, employment and social security. He affirmed that Vietnam is always prepared to cooperate on labor, employment and social welfare issues with Asia-Europe meeting. Vietnam, with a population of nearly 90 million, plays an important strategic role in South Asia. We are a member of the World Trade Organization and other regional and international economic and trade mechanisms. Vietnam always cherishes cooperation with member countries of Asia-Europe meeting, an important pillar of which is cooperation in the fields of labor, employment and social welfare. The Prime Minister suggested that, in the future, Asia-Europe meetings should focus cooperation on policy building to help member countries complete their legal system on labor and social protection. At the end of the day, the conference adopted the Hanoi Declaration, stressing the need for social security policies suitable for each country's priorities and conditions, enhance labor safety and hygiene, and the improvement of corporate social responsibilities.
The spokesperson of Vietnam's Foreign Ministry has expressed a hope that ASEAN and China can soon start official negotiations on the code of conduct of parties in the East Sea. He said the COC will contribute to maintaining peace, stability, cooperation and development in the region.
At the ministry regular press briefing in Hanoi on October 25th, spokesperson Leung Tae-Nghi said ASEAN has been accelerating official consultation with China for the building of a COC. He added that ASEAN had completed fundamental documents on COC elements which were approved by ASEAN foreign ministers in July. Nghi said Indonesia's draft mentions more specific and detailed contents of the elements, and ASEAN countries will continue to discuss these contents. At a press briefing, the spokesperson also announced that Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev will visit Vietnam on November 6 and 7.
The export of agroforestry and aquatic products in the first 10 months of this year was estimated to earn to Vietnam $22.5 billion, up 9.5% over the same period last year.
According to the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, several agricultural products have maintained a stable growth in both volume and value. Some commodities saw a strong surge, including coffee, cassava, and products from cassava. In the January-October period, the country shipped 1.4 million tons of coffee, worth $3 billion, representing a year-on-year rise of 37.7% in volume and 32.7% in value. The two largest export markets for Vietnamese coffee products were the U.S. and Germany. Exports of cassava and products from cassava in the period reached over 3.6 million tons, earning more than $1.1 billion, up 58.5% in volume and 38% in value against the same period last year. Wood and wooden products also saw a large increase of 19.3% in export value for the first 10 months of this year, earning $3.8 billion. Meanwhile, aquatic products registered only a slight increase of 1.7% in export value to over $5 billion. However, export of this commodity was forecast to be up in remaining months of this year because of the increasing demand of importing countries.
Leading domestic and overseas nuclear power companies are showcasing advanced products and services at an international exhibition in Hanoi. The event also introduced the trends in nuclear power development in the world as well as in Vietnam.
The exhibition comes at a time when many governments in countries already using or planning to use nuclear power are looking more closely at nuclear safety issues and the measures needed to deal with emergencies. This is especially true in the wake of the Fukushima nuclear crisis in Japan in March last year. Vietnam is learning from foreign nuclear power states how to choose the right technologies, consultancies and contractors, as the country is preparing to build its first two nuclear power stations, Ninh Thuận No. 1 and 2.
The Khao Pagoda in Duy Nhất Commune in northern Taiping province has been recognized as a special nation relic for its unique historical, cultural, architectural and artistic values. Taiping held a ceremony on October 24th to receive the title and officially open the 2012 Khao Pagoda Autumn Festival.
A senior official from the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism underlined the unique values of the pagoda and urged Taiping province to preserve and promote these values so that it is worthy of becoming one of special cultural heritages of the nation. Just over 130 kilometers away from the capital Hanoi, Khao Pagoda, which was built in 1632, is an ancient building but has 102 rooms, more than any other pagoda in Vietnam. It is home to a wealth of ancient artifacts, which range from intricately engraved wooden dragons to a collection of over 100 statues. It is also preserved many valuable antiques, such as a pair of candlesticks from the Mark dynasty, pottery and altars from the Lei dynasty, and several imperial boats.
And this is the end of news today. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.